He joined American Express, and then people used to get to him, and say, LC kholni hai, but who will do the clearance and all those things. So then he started this company, Continental, with one of my uncle as partner. They both started in 1957 as an import custom clearance agent. And for 10 years, he worked with the American Express. He used to go to the bank, to the company. Our office was in Fortress only. Worked there for 1 hour. During the day, he used to work in the bank. So the company was very small, but unfortunately, in 1967, my uncle expired. He met with an accident, and there was nobody in the family to take care of the company. He had 2 daughters, and we were too young to take the company. So he went to the bank manager. He had an excellent record with the bank, and he said, "This is how I was, my wife and my, cousin was partner. So there's nobody who met with an accident, and because of his track record, they gave him leave for 3 months to work in that company. So he came and started working in the company in 1967. That time it was only 4 people in Continental doing only import clearance, office in Connaught Place next to Marina Hotel, and that's from where he started. He, after 3 months passed, then he went again and he wanted some more time. As luck could have it, 67 was the time when garment exports started from India. किसी का भाई वहाँ था लंदन में, किसी का भाई अमेरिका में था, and they used to come कि भाई एक पार्सल है कैसे भेजे, like that. So then we started handling export. Of course, we got ITA also in 67. Custom license, our custom license is number 6 in India. First 5 are from Bombay. 6 Northern India. It is the first license, number 6 in Delhi. Then he started exports and started doing very well. After 2 months, the American Express, there was a manager called Walter. He called Bora and he said, "Dad, Boraji, can you come and have a cup of tea?" So he went there. He said, "There is good news for you." What? He said, "The bank has decided to get all the expats back into America." So at that time, Mr. Bora was assistant manager. He said the American Express has decided to make you as manager. In 67, he was offered the salary of 1,65,000 rupees with chauffeur-driven imported car, once in a year, trip to US with family and house in South Delhi. At that time in 67, the American Express managers, he had the power to sanction $500,000 credit to anybody, whereas Indian bank manager had only 5,000 rupees. And that's what, for 3 days my father couldn't sleep. And he said, "I don't know what to do." The company was doing, was very small with 4 people in the company. And then he had some few friends in the industry like Mr. Prasher, who was ex-Air India manager, and they all sat and they said, "Boraji, yehi age hai risk lene ka, ab risk le lo, ab company chal rahi hai kahin, at least you'll make something." So after 3 days, he went and put his papers with American Express. And then he joined Continental, and that's how the company started. And when the exports started, we were one of the major players in handling garments out of India, export. And for almost like 15, 20 years, we were in the top 3. There were only 5, 6 companies, all India-wise, Limo, Trade Freight Private Limited, Bomilari, and Gordon Woodruff, and, these companies were there. Of course, later on, a lot of North India companies came up. We were the first North Indian company who went to Bombay and to other places. And that's how Continental's history started. For a few years, we were number 1. I joined my father in 1975, just finishing my graduation from Shriram College of Commerce. And that time, I wanted to go abroad, but my father said, my mother said, "If बाहर जाएगा कोई गोरी को ले आएगा, इसको नहीं भेजना, इसको नहीं भेजना." Being the only son, I was not allowed to go out. And then first day when I went to the office, my father told me, "Beta, Dad, go and sit on each and every chair and then come and sit on my chair. You should know how to do what." And that was the time, it took me 2.5 years before I sat on this chair. And if people, knows, I've worked in all the departments, I've made the bills, I've gone to the customs clearance, I've tagged the debit bills, I've done everything, even made the billing also. And that's how, that you would have got knowledge of all these things, And that's how the company started. 75 was the time when I joined, and at that time, there was no multinational in India. We were the kings, let me talk this way. All these big boys, like big companies, multinational companies, big stores like Macy's, May Company, everybody, we were handling their business, and we were way ahead than other people, Then 79 was the time, all these airlines, they used to have their offices at Palm, their own individual warehouses. Now, there they were handling export and import, and then the shortage of space came. Then the government decided to shift the import to CWC warehouse, and they wanted to have an agent who could handle entire imports. So we got that whole project, whole contract. We were the ones who were transferring, entire import cargo from Palam Airport to CWC warehouse, and all the labor inside the CWC warehouse was Continental labor. Almost like 350 people were working. Entire import which was coming to Delhi airport was handled by us. Everything used to be handled by us. We were doing pretty good in exports. Imports, we were handling everything. 82 was the time when Asian Games came into India. And there was this TV rush. And there were so many TVs that everything was jam-packed at the airport, Even the TVs were lying near the runways. So my father was called by the ministry, Then my father suggested them, if you can give us Pragati Vinan. So we got 2 warehouses in Pragati Vinan. Within 24 hours, they were declared as bonded warehouse. All the TVs were shifted over there, and there it was cleared. If you remember anybody, who imported TV, we handled that whole, place at Pragati Vinan. So that was, till 79 to 86, we were handling, export and import cargo warehouse, entire warehouse. Of course, we were doing very good in exports. We did some charters with Air France and all for the big stores, because there was a lot of quota issue, at that time. AEPC का quota नहीं मिला, सब लोग इंतजार कर रहे हैं अक्टूबर से कुछ इसको भेजने का, और वो जनवरी में कोटा मिलेगा. कोटा चार्टर आ गया, लेकिन कोटा माल नहीं रेडी, AEPC ने कोटा नहीं दिया. But we all managed. We got cooperation from a lot of airlines. Some airlines बहुत cooperate किया उस time. And we used to go and sit like, जैसे हमारा ऑफिस है एयरलाइन स्टाफ को बाहर बैठाते थे, जाओ भाई हम तेरे सीट पे बैठे काम करेंगे. That's what used to happen. Vipin Jain gave votes for this, at that time. Then, in 79 to 86, when we handled this airport, in between, there were 2 things happened. 85 was the one when we were handling May department stores exclusively out of India, and we did charters for them. They wanted garment on hangers. Now, it was not allowed from India. Customs से बात किया, वो कहते जी हम कैसे लिखेंगे शेयर के ऊपर 3000 पीस जा रहा है. So finally, my father took some custom officials to Hong Kong to show them how it works. Because we were working with them at that time with Hackney Freight, and Hackney used to handle a lot of these hanging garments. And that's how we started hanging garments on containers, LD3 containers. And, Lufthansa was the first one to handle that. After that, we did for Macy's ocean freight container on the same basis. So that was the first time, we were always ahead of the market. We wanted to do something different. उसके बाद प्रॉब्लम आया है, in the export cargo when they used to clear it, हर पार्सल के ऊपर वो तार की सील लगती थी. Now we were handling limited stores at that time. उनके यहाँ नया वेयरहाउस ओहायो में खोला उन्होंने, और जब माल पहुंचा तो उनकी सारी कन्वेयर बेल्ट नहीं पूरी कट गई. And they sent photographs and they said कि बोला साहब भाई, if these seals are to be there, we are not going to buy it from India. So with that, because my father had very good reputation with the customs and with every government department, he went there to the collector office, and that time collector होते थे, अब तो commissioner वगैरह थे, कि भाई ये इसको तो कुछ दूर करो. And he was the one who got this sealing removed from all India. All India में वो seal भी तो हर पैकेज seal होता था, और इंस्पेक्टर से seal लेके बना के सब रखते थे. That was the one. So we got that removed also from the packages. उसके बाद we continued, we were very happy, अपना काम कर रहे हैं. Lot of agents, at that time ज़्यादा import ही देखते थे, export में बहुत कम agents थे जो थे. Then what happened was कि 86 when this new airport was made, तो उस time पे airport authority wanted to give us the contract, but वो कहते हैं ना, यहाँ पे उस टाइम मिनिस्ट्री का बीच में प्रेशर पड़ा तो वो उसको कंबाटा को दे दिया. They gave it to Gambata to handle the airport. Now they wanted us to supply the labor. We said sorry, we are not, we are not there to supply the labor. So we refused to supply the labor, and we said sorry, we will not handle. Fortunately, there was no labor with the airport authority of Gambata. All 350 staff were taken by Gambata from us, and touch wood 350 लोग हमारे जो लेबर थी सब उधर चली गई, जो आज तक वहाँ उनपे काम कर रही है. So that was the time we left the contract, but we lost a lot of big chunk of our turnover and our profits from that, because major chunk of the handling profits had gone. So at that time, in imports consol, there were only 4 or 5 agents who were doing import consolidation to the country because of, Air India का monopoly था, government import करता था, license राज था, they were the one only importing. और Air India ने अपना वो दिखाया हुआ था कि Air India से approval चाहिए, and Bombay agents had good hold on Air India कि भाई किसी और नए agent को आने नहीं देना import में. So then we hired a team from one of the companies, and we started doing import consol after 86. And we had a tough fight with Air India to get the approval, consol permission. It will watch for that. And within 3 months we got it, and we started doing import consol. And we started doing very well. And that was the time we got a lot of big buyers into the country. To name few, I don't want, we got Tax Global in India, that time it was Indian Air Express, Union Transport, all these big buyers in India. When I went to sign with them, they had only 2 kgs to India, and then within 3 years, they started doing 2,000 tons a month. That was the business they started doing out of, to India. And we had a big team, which we got it from one of the other company. We, apart from export, we started doing very good in import also. We were in the top 3 in imports also, export also, we were in top 3, 4. And we were doing pretty well in all the fields. Then, what happened? In 92, government wanted to change the policy. They wanted multinational to come to India. And we were the ones who opposed it. On this time, all the agents didn't cooperate with us. They never objected to it. If we would have rejected that time, Indian agents are sub-talked over it. Because I wanted everybody, we wanted, my father and we wanted that if multinational are they should work with, like Sri Lanka or like with Bangladesh, they should work with an Indian agent. They should not be allowed to open 100%, Indian company. But at that time, वो सब agents यही meeting with me because people have suffered. So that's why he's raising his voice that, these multinationals should not come of their own. Now there were policies, आज, multinational wants to come to India, they can open an office with 1 lakh rupees capital. As per the Indian law. अगर हम ऊपर जाते हैं, वो यहाँ पे फॉरनर भी भेज दे, सब भेज दे, वो यहाँ पे काम करे. लेकिन अगर हम लोग जाना चाहते हैं तो we have to apply for the country's rule. अगर स्टाफ भेजना तो वहाँ पे $2 लाख या $5 लाख लेके जाओ, या और चीजें सारी, all those things have to be seen. But anyway, they came, then everybody started coming. People, we got offers from a lot of multinationals to sell the company, Dax offered us, Union Transport offered us at that time. He said, whatever price you want, you tell us. I said, sorry, this company is not for sale. And my father used to say, भाई जब तक मैं हूँ तब तक नहीं बेचूंगा नहीं, बाकी आगे विपिन जाने। अब मैं कहता हूँ मैंने तो बेच दिया, अब आगे बच्चे जाने कैसे करते हैं? क्यों? I took it at this level and at this level. Now it's up to them what they want to do. You know, that's how I say. And then, you know, उसके बाद, you know, we, you know, did very well. सब कुछ अच्छा था, but you know, then when the multinationals started coming, you know, every 6 months or 1 year, हमारा एक agent, either you sell it or will want to come off your own. 8 times this has happened with us. The top 8 agents, starting from Dax Global, UTI, you know, Hellman, then Asia Shipping, then you know, Airborne Express, then R.E. Rogers, and then you know, few others. You know, 8 times we built the business down. Again we built the business, again down. But we survived because of our local business, local standing in this market. Because we control 60% of our business. You know, we are not dependent on 100% on the multinationals or their business. And what I want to say is, you must control your business. You know, agent आज है, कल किसी और का, कल वो बिक जाएगा, या you know, तुम you know, कुछ और को दे दोगे. But whatever business you control, you should have better control on them. Customer के साथ तुम्हारा control बहुत जरूरी है. You know, that's what happened. And touch wood, you know, last when it was happened, you know, in 2000, you know, I think it was in 3, when Hellman opened their own office. Sorry, I'm taking names also because it's everybody knows in the industry, you know what happened. So they opened their own office. That was the time, you know, we lost a lot of business and we lost a lot of team members also. But then we still survived. मेरी किस्मत कोई एजेंट नहीं लिया, जो किस्मत में मेरे लिखा वो मेरे को मिला. I'm quite satisfied, quite happy the way I am. 2003 जब उनका गए, then we decided. 2005 my eldest son Vaibhav joined the company. You know, they both Vaibhav and Viraj, they studied in Babson Business College in Boston. They came back. The eldest son came back, and he joined the business. Now at that time, जो भी हम करते थे, हम सिर्फ टेक्सटाइल, हैंडीक्राफ्ट, you know, few other things, you know, those type of things, export, import. Now he's the one who added a lot of, you know, these verticals in the company. He's the one who added pharma, he added, you know, aerospace and, you know, defense division. So he kept on adding. Viraj joined in, you know, in 2013. He added few things. He's adding more export, you know, foreign agents and all. So he's the one. So now both of them are looking after the company. One thing which happened was that we survived on this, you know, losing multinational every, you know, 6 months or 1 year. I was also, you know, at one time president of, you know, Air Cargo Club of Delhi. I was member for almost like 8-10 years. I was president for Akai. I was, you know, I took presidentship in 2005 in September. And December was the time when we had the first, you know, meeting in Bangkok. We had 500 guests in that, you know, 500 guests in that conference, you know, in Bangkok. First time we took it abroad under my chairmanship. And thanks to S.L. Sharma, he was the convention chairman, you know, with us, we made it, you know, to Bangkok. My father, you know, his birthday was on 3rd of December. He went with us to Bangkok. He cut the cake, you know, met everybody after a few years. And he came back, and on 26th of December, he passed away with the heart attack. And, you know, I had to resign from Akai as presidentship because I said, if I can't spend time for Akai, I don't want to be president. You know, I got messages from them, don't worry, we are sitting here. Suresh Nagarwala said, we'll work, but you stay as president. I said, no. I resigned and I left Akai presidentship. And then, you know, I became the chairman of the company. You know, Babu was there, Viraj was there, they were, you know, doing this. Now, one thing which my father wanted, and his wish was that he must have his own cargo terminal where he can build his own pallets and containers, like any other agent in the world. You know, worldwide, if you see, you know, Hong Kong, 94% of the cargo comes ready in pallets and containers, and airlines, they give it to the airlines 2 hours before the flight, and it's gone. Airports are just, you know, like transit point. Whereas in India, it's a money-making machine for the airports. You know, this whole thing, because it was the dream of my father, I took an oath that yes, I'll do it, irrespective of what happens. So once the thing settled after his death, 2013, I said I must do it. You know, we made this building in Kapasera. There are, you know, our offices now, and on the ground floor, we made this AFS. You know, I went abroad, I saw it in London, how these air freight stations works, and went to Hong Kong, saw it, how it works and all those things, and created the facility over there. Now, 2013, there was no, you know, policy of the government for air freight station. They, you know, I applied on the basis of CFS form to Ministry of Commerce. There's the interministerial board, you know, which approves, you know, ICDs and CFSs. So based on that, I applied to Ministry of Commerce. There are 13 sets of applications, there's that, you know, all those things. Unfortunately, for 1 year, I kept asking them what happened, nothing happened. And in 2020, end of the year, after 1 year, they called me one day, I got a call from Ministry of Commerce. Okay, here's your application, please take it back. Now we have given this to Ministry of Civil Aviation to draft the AFS policy. AFS policy. Now, then it was Mr. Kannan who was the, you know, economic advisor at that time in Civil Aviation. As luck could have it, he gave it to a terminal operator to make the policy. And the airport authority, airport people, they said, कि इस पे ETV होना चाहिए, इस पे ये होना चाहिए, इस पे वो होना चाहिए. Because they don't want this thing to happen. They are the ones who are going to lose the revenue. So finally, I objected to each and every point. They put it on the system. I objected on each and every point. Had a meeting with Mr. Kannan 2-3 times. Got the policy amended, and it was announced in October 2014. This is the new policy. This is how airfreight station has to, you know, apply. So we applied based on that, you know, based on that policy, you know, this is what has to be done. We created the facility, we created everything, and to our luck, inspection took place, Ministry of Commerce people came, Civil Aviation people came, Customs guys came, and our AFS got approved in 2014. 16. And after that, my life till date is going up. 14 till it's 12 years or 13 years. You know, it's my wish which I want to complete because I have, you know, my father, he was the one who wanted this thing to happen. I've spent a lot of money in it, you know, and I'll make sure that this happens, this works. Now, just to give you an idea, when the policy was made, when we got approval, Civil Aviation ने तो policy बना दी, Custom didn't know what this is, BCAS didn't know what exactly is this. किसी डिपार्टमेंट को कुछ नहीं पता कि ये AFS की पॉलिसी क्या है, ये क्या ले आया. Again we have to explain everything to them. उसके बाद फिर सारी वो बोर्ड बैठेगी, मीटिंग बैठेगी, उसमें वो सारा होगा. And just to give you an idea, in 12 years, I'll just now show you what has happened. See, these are the dates. AFS approval was done in 2016. Then Section 7 of Customs and Commission. it took 1 year to get that custom permission under section 7. Then section 7 का जब custom ने दिया, I applied for only export. They gave it for import and export both. They gave it me for both. Then I said, यार custom ये गलती कर दी, मैंने तो सिर्फ export का अप्लाई किया. Then again they amended. Standard operating procedure लाओ जी फिर. 23 तक standard of operating procedure ना एयरपोर्ट वाले कह रहे हैं पास, ना कोई कर रहा है. 5 साल उसमें निकल रहे हैं. ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर ही नहीं बन रहा. उसके बाद पब्लिक नोटिस दे रहा है, एयरफील्ड स्टेशन हैंडलिंग ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट कार्गो कस्टम एरिया अंडर सेक्शन 8 अप्रूव हुआ. देन एक पब्लिक नोटिस 16 निकला, मूवमेंट ऑफ एम्प्टी कंटेनर. हर चीज ये नहीं कस्टम एक बारी में सब परमिशन हो जाए. एक परमिशन होती थी फिर दूसरी, जब तक एक परमिशन से दूसरी परमिशन नहीं होती थी, वो जो हमारा अप्रूवल है वो 6-6 महीने का होता था, वो खत्म हो जाता था. फिर जब कस्टम की मीटिंग होती थी उसमें आना, फिर उसके बाद कस्टम दोबारा शुरू करना. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स कस्टम पॉलिसी विंग से पास 23, लेटर ऑफ अप्रूवल LOI एक्सटेंशन 23 में, पब्लिक नोटिस 3, ट्रांसशिपमेंट परमिशन, एयरफील्ड स्टेशन कापासीना टू गेटवे पोर्ट. हर चीज की कस्टम से एक करके परमिशन दोबारा लेनी पड़ेगी. वैलिडिटी 2024. इन द मीन टाइम जब रेट्स की बात आई तो टर्मिनल चार्जेस कहते थे हम तो पूरा टर्मिनल चार्जेस लेंगे. तो व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज टू द एक्सपोर्टर और टू द एजेंट टू कम थ्रू द AFS? If they have to pay the full terminal charges over there and full terminal charges to us, who will come to us? No one. और on top of it, custom cost. Custom cost क्या है जी? You have to have DC, you have to have AC, you have to have superintendent, you have to have inspector. Because there is no way it's mentioned that AFS के लिए क्या custom staff चाहिए. Because CFS और ICT के लिए ये चाहिए, तो तुम्हें भी ये लेना पड़ेगा. अब वो उसका 44 lakhs का इनवॉइस भेज दिया फॉर 1 शिफ्ट फॉर 3 months. 185% ऑफ द सैलरी ऑफ द कस्टमर. और उसके बाद जो इंस्पेक्टर और सुप्रीन आया, मैं गाजियाबाद रहता हूँ, मेरे को वहां गाड़ी भेजो उठाने के लिए और छोड़ने के लिए. मैं द्वारका रहता हूँ, मेरे को वहां चाहिए. मैं उधर रहता हूँ जनकपुरी, वहां चाहिए. जो सुबह लेके आए और जो छोड़ के आए. भैया ये क्या है? भैया ये हमारा सर्कुलर कहता है कि आपको प्रोवाइड करना पड़ेगा. तो विमल जी मैं झूठ बोल रहा हूँ? तो ये है. अच्छा, फिर आते ही मेरे को 16 इंच की 20 इंच की स्क्रीन चाहिए, मेरे को यहाँ टीवी चाहिए, मेरे को ये चाहिए. चलो ये सब लोग मान लेते हैं. वो और 3 महीने में उसके बाद वो कस्टम्स आया स्टाफ, तो हमें लंच भी चाहिए, हमें ये भी चाहिए, हमें वो भी चाहिए. शिपमेंट्स कराई तो एयरलाइन ये टर्मिनल ऑपरेटर्स एरा से रेट के लिए 3 साल 4 साल लगा दिए, क्योंकि पूरे चार्जेस चाहिए. वी फॉट, बट अल्टीमेटली उन्होंने टर्मिनल वालों ने उनको दे दिया कि हमें तो 6-7 करोड़ रुपए इसके ऊपर लगाना पड़ेगा सिर्फ पैलेट ऑफलोड करने के लिए जो आएंगे. हमें वो कैंची वाली वो बस लानी पड़ेगी, ये लाना पड़ेगा, एवरीथिंग. सो वो एरा ने अप्रूव कर दिया कि जी you'll get only 30% discount, 70% terminal charges you still have to pay to the terminal operator. Now 70% terminal charges देके I said okay चलो यार कुछ चलाओ सही. केतु साहब पीछे पड़े थे, चला वेपन चला कुछ सही, इसको चालू कर, देखी जाएगी. मैंने भी कहा चलो शुरू करते हैं. हमने 15-20 शिपमेंट भी की. बट अल्टीमेटली कॉस्ट जो आ रही है पर केजी इज 22 to 25 rupees per kg, which is coming just for handling and custom cost. Now tell me, who will come to me? No one. If they have to go and spend 8 rupees or 9 rupees at the airport, why they will spend 20 rupees or 22 rupees or 25 rupees for the AFS? अब 3 महीने बीत गए, हमने 3 महीने बाद कहा कि ये कस्टम कॉस्ट बहुत ज्यादा है, हमें इसको इतना चाहिए नहीं, हमें सिर्फ एक इंस्पेक्टर चाहिए. ना इन बिटवीन 3 महीने से 2 दिन बाद एक शिपमेंट हो गई थी वहां पे कंटेनर में. वो कहते हैं आपने एक शिपमेंट कर ली, अगली 3 महीने का 44 लाख हो जाएगा, फिर बात करेंगे. I had to pay another 44 lakhs to the customer just for 1 shipment cost. 88 lakhs. उसके बाद फिर कस्टम अब जाएगा जी बोर्ड में because you don't want this much of staff. हमारे पास चीफ कमिश्नर प्रिंसिपल कमिश्नर said I do not have power to reduce the staff, has to go to the board. बोर्ड में जाना मतलब 6 महीने 8 महीने, फिर बोर्ड के पास गया, अब आ गया कि एक इंस्पेक्टर और एक सुप्रीम जरूरी है। चलो जी वो तो फिर शुरू करते हैं, फिर शुरू किया उनको। अब उनकी कॉस्ट का बिल आ गया 22 लाख रुपए, कि 22 लाख रुपए पहले जमा कराओ फिर हम इंस्पेक्टर पोस्ट करेंगे। I have paid, you will not believe it, 1 crore 20 lakhs to the customs and not cleared even more than 15 or 20 shipments till date. AFS is my dream and my father's dream. I'm going to fulfill it. I am still fighting it. And I tell you, it is so good for the trade. I'm fighting for the trade individually. आज जो मोनोपोली है टर्मिनल ऑपरेटर की, उसको खत्म करने के लिए AFS is the only answer. वर्ल्ड वाइड दिस इज कॉमन. इंडिया में अभी हम लोग इस तरफ ध्यान नहीं दे रहे. You people have to support this. I need support from all of you to make sure that this thing works. Because if it doesn't work, मैं बंद कर दिया उसके बाद वो खत्म हो गया. AFS कोई भी चांस नहीं लेगा. क्योंकि ऑलरेडी इस प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर आई स्पेंड मोर देन 25 CR. बिकॉज जिस दिन से शुरू किया उस दिन से CSO चाहिए, सिक्योरिटी ऑफिसर चाहिए, ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए. इवन वो जो RA3 की जो लेडी आती है यूके से, जिसको किया, उसकी बिजनेस क्लास टिकट चाहिए, उसके रहने का 2 दिन का 3 दिन का होटल चाहिए 5 स्टार, और उसकी फीस है और सब कुछ है. मतलब एक ट्रिप उसका $10,000 करता है. 1 साल बीत गया, कोई शिपमेंट हुई नहीं थी, रिन्यू के लिए आया, फिर बुलाना पड़ा. अब 3 साल का हुआ, फर्स्ट टाइम इट्स 1 year 3 years. उसके बाद जो RA3 हो गया, RA क्लियर हो गया, CT पैड क्लियर हो गया, सब कुछ क्लियर है. एवरीथिंग इज डन. एंड आई टेल यू दिस इज द फ्यूचर. आज एयरलाइन से अगर तुम पैलेट लेके और उसमें वॉल्यूम और वेट मिक्स करके भेजोगे, यू विल हैव एडवांटेज. द एजेंसी विल हैव एडवांटेज ऑन द फ्रेट रेट्स एंड ऑल. You people have to support this project. I request all of you कि अगर आपको कोई क्लियरेंस जहाँ पे कराना है AFS में, कॉन्टिनेंटल में, यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम. आप अपना पैलेट के रेट ले लो, एयरलाइन से कुछ कर लो. योर कार्गो विल बी क्लियर्ड इन half an hour. आधे घंटे में आपका स्टाफ खाली होने पे चला जाएगा. जो एयरपोर्ट पे आपका मिस हैंडलिंग होता है या ये होता है, सब खत्म हो जाएगा. एंड आई कैन एश्योर यू, डोंट थिंक कि कॉन्टिनेंटल मेरा कस्टमर ले जाएगा. वी हैव अ रेपुटेशन. आई हैव नेवर approached anybody's customer who has got airway bill or anything from us. That's our reputation. And I can sign any agreement with you कि भाई हम कोई सी का क्लाइंट नहीं अप्रोच करेंगे, कुछ नहीं करेंगे. आप एयरलाइन से रेट लेना चाहते हो, आप अपना एयरवे बिल यूज करना चाहते हो, नो प्रॉब्लम, यू कैन डू क्लियरेंस. यू वांट टू हैव कंसोलिडेटेड रेट फ्रॉम अस. अगर आपकी 100 किलो की शिपमेंट है, अगर एक पैकेट का रेट 1500 किलो है, जैसे हांगकांग और चाइना से आता है, आई कैन ऑल्सो गिव यू 15,000 kg का रेट या 500 kg का रेट. बट यू हैव टू सपोर्ट दिस बिकॉज टुमारो, all maybe after 5 years, you all need this AFS. The airports and the exports are going to increase. The airports are not sufficient. And now what I have done is I have taken, I again went to the customs because we have signed exclusive agreement with Jewar Airport, with AI Class. AI SANS. Any cargo, export cargo, once the international flight starts over there, you can clear your cargo at my AFS. And they want 2 trucks, one in the night, one in the morning. Bonded trucks under custom bond. Rather than going 90 kilometers for clearing 10 packages, you can clear it over here. Now they want to do the X-ray over there. I've got no problem. I'll put it on a bonded trucks, send it over there. आप लोगों का, और ये अब मैंने 6 एयरपोर्ट्स की परमिशन लेनी है. I can clear cargo at my AFS for cargo to Amritsar, to Mohali, to Jaipur, to Jewar, to Lucknow, and one more. Amritsar. So 6 airports. You can clear cargo at AFS. Now, even the domestic cargo, Indigo and all, we are talking about, we are going to sign agreement any day. Even that also, not in AFS but in our ground, if you give it to us, we can take it to Jewar, for overnight for domestic cargo. Because अभी क्या है कि सबको 10 पार्सल 20 पार्सल देने के लिए जाना पड़ेगा. What we are doing is we are talking to Indigo और आकाशा मतलब हम सबका कंसोल करके वहाँ दे जाएंगे. शाम को आपको ट्रक में दे दूंगा, आप एक्सचेंज कराओ, 14 की कराओ, वहाँ से लेके जाओ. The negotiations are going on, they all agree to it. अभी बस वो ट्रक की कॉस्ट और ये वो सारा वो बात हो रही है. So that is one thing. Other thing is कि अभी जो भी है, just a small now presentation on this aircraft. This is airfield station of airport common user bonded air export facility near IGI airport. Avoidance of congestion at the airport during peak period. Provision of shifting the cargo to AFS as per exporter's convenience. Now exporter के ऊपर है, वो रात को 6 बजे लाना चाहता है, शाम को सुबह 6 बजे लाना चाहता है. Just tell us and